Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com. This will be my top 10 stocks as we head into Wednesday, May 24th. This will be a technical analysis breakdown, so if you're someone that uses charts within your trading, or maybe you're just interested in learning more about charts and how they can be used as a tool to help make good decisions as a trader, this will be a video for you. First off, a couple of quick clarification points. Number one, the price you see over here will be moving around and changing, and then also the candlestick you see right there will also be moving around and changing. That is because the market's still open for a small amount of time, and I like to do these videos when the market is still open because sometimes we can capture some interesting late day price movement. And then second, I'll be using the 30-minute time frame, meaning each one of these candlesticks here represents 30 minutes worth of time. So stock number one here, ticker symbol CWBR, huge mover today. You look down here at the volume and that speaks for itself, especially when you consider, back in the history of things, barely any volume at all. So huge spike in volume, nice price movement. And then just from a technical point of view, a very well-defined area. And the nice thing I should say about well-defined areas is when you have well-defined areas, that means a lot of other people are watching it. So as I draw this line up here at the $6.60 mark, I'm not trying to impress you. I'm not trying to imply that's a great discovery or a great talent on my part. In fact, the exact opposite. And I say all that because when a lot of people are watching the same level and wondering the same thing, call it a self-fulfilling prophecy, call it whatever you want, it can produce some very dynamic movement. So while there are no guarantees, is it valid? Is it plausible if the price comes up here and pushes up through that area of resistance, that could, in and of itself, could create additional buying pressure? That is certainly a plausible outcome to look at. On the flip side of things, as far as levels of support are concerned, you have a very well-defined level down here at the $5.05 mark. You can see here a couple of times, both there and there, price went down there and bounced off it very nicely. So even from a pattern standpoint, if you want to, keep it one color, so resistance, support, and then the big move upwards like that, have a nice little bull flag pattern. So if you like these sorts of situations, bull flags, you like stocks down below $10, keep an eye on it. Next one here, ticker symbol PACW, and overall, everything is perfectly fine, but I will admit there's a little bit of context that goes into it, because I do understand that perspective-wise, if you're a day trader and you bought right there and your plan was to buy and sell within 10 minutes, well then yes, from that perspective, the chart looks really, really bad, because yes, there's no doubt about it, that from that moment right there, the price has now formed this downwards channel. But this is where we want to step back and now talk about the bigger picture point of view. So if you do care about the bigger picture point of view, then you're going to be asking yourself, well, what was going on before this downwards channel? And you would say, well, the price made this huge move up like that, which has now given me the ability to draw this bull flag pattern. So from the bigger picture point of view, the chart is still perfectly bullish because you still have an uptrend, you have a pullback, but nothing goes straight up. So you have this bull flag scenario. But again, I fully realize that if you're the perspective of the person that bought right there as a day trader, then yeah, you don't really care about this pattern. But that's why I'm trying to distinguish between someone that cares more so about the shorter picture and then the big picture. So yeah, big picture point of view, good overall pattern. So what you can once again start to talk about potential self-fulfilling prophecies, where if the price goes up there and breaks up through it, does that guarantee anything? No. But does that break? Is it valid to think that could lead to some buying pressure? Absolutely. Next one, AMD, which just continues with the overall uptrend, higher highs and higher lows. So that is the name of the game. So same general idea, a little bit of perspective. I understand if you're a day trader and you bought up there and wanted to buy and sell within 15 minutes, the chart looks pretty rough for you. But everybody else, perfectly fine. As I just noted, nothing can go straight up. Pullbacks happen. So yeah, this thing has pulled back, but you probably know what I'm going to do next. But what was happening before the pullback? Well, you had this nice upwards move here. So right now, it has been bull flag city. I mean, bull flags all around the market, and there will be more to come. But like I said, overall, the chart is completely healthy. It's been doing a good job of staying up above that purple line there, which on my chart denotes the 50-period moving average. As far as levels of resistance are concerned, key level you want to watch moving forward right up there around that general area, which sits up at approximately the 109.85 mark. So watch that and more if you're trying to maybe anticipate a break of going to new highs. But overall, like I said, completely fine from a big picture point of view. Next one here, NIO, and going back to that logic of self-fulfilling prophecies, let me really reiterate, you got to think that everybody and their brother's uncle has drawn that line right there. I mean, look at the amount of times the price has now been up here around this $8.85 mark and has just not quite been able to push up through it. So for that reason alone, let me squeeze things down. You can see that it's been a while since the price has been up this area, but like I said, taking a step back, guarantees, no. But is it plausible to think that the price can get up there and push up through that line, that could create that much more upside buying pressure? Absolutely. So like I said, sometimes things are very straightforward, very simple. And the fact that that line stands out like a sore thumb, like the way it does, to me is all that you need sometimes. Is just such a well-defined level that it becomes very plausible to think that people around the world are watching that. And then you sprinkle that on top of a stock that's pretty popular, NIO, very well-known stock. So could you get a self-fulfilling prophecy type breakout? Worth at least keeping an eye on. Next one here, AMC, and we are at a very, very important level. For those of you that watched yesterday's video, hopefully you understand what I'm referring to, but I drew that green line, and you can see that right now the price is essentially sitting right at that area, which makes it very valid, very wise to be saying, okay, what exactly is going to happen here? Are the bulls going to hold strong and get the bounce back in the upwards direction? Or is this some sort of leading indicator of the bears picking back up momentum and now pressing the price, back downwards? Nobody knows. Nobody can tell the future. But what, the common denominator here, and the big question is, the price is at a very important level. So, what happens from this point forward is going to be something of interest that both longs and shorts are going to be, very curious about. In the event the price does actually push to the downside as far as next potential areas of support, after that would be, like I said, no guarantees that happens. But if the price does push to the downside, then right here around $4.95 in my mind is going to be a very important level. I'm still not going to call it an absolute must-hold, do-or-die level, but I would certainly say that it carries quite a bit of significance. If the price does try to bounce, and keep an eye on that purple line there, 50-period moving average as that initial area of resistance. Real quickly, I want to take a quick break and personally invite you to get signed up for this free live online class that I'll be offering here very soon. So if you've been enjoying what you've seen and you want to learn more about this tool, how it can and should be used to build consistency, to manage risk, then certainly get signed up for the free live class. If you're watching on YouTube, there's a link down in the description box. If you're watching at my site, there's an area right there on the webpage that you can click to get signed up. So like I said, if you've been enjoying what you've seen, then definitely get signed up for this free live class. Next one here, ticker symbol RIOT. And going back to the theme of, well, it kind of depends on your perspective. So yes, without doubt, if you're a day trader and you were buying up around here, the chart looks absolutely disastrous for you. Assuming, like I said, you were a day trader, you bought up there and wanted to sell relatively soon thereafter. But from the big picture point of view, to be fair, there is still hope. Again, emphasis on big picture, because if I were to draw this trend line and play right here, you can see, and let me change that to green to represent more so the support dynamic. You can see that there's a big track record of this area, holding very nicely. So held there, held there, held there, held there, held there. So the price is still above that level. So it's, while no guarantees, it's still very valid to think that the price could go down there, find some support, and then turn itself back around. Now, if the price comes down to that area and then just completely crashes down through it, at that point, that's where I would say there's something severely wrong with the chart. But as of now, from the big picture point of view, the chart hasn't done anything wrong. Again, near term, yeah, the chart's done a whole lot of stuff wrong. It was up here and it's dropped all the way back down there. But again, that is from the near term point of view. From the bigger picture point of view, price does still have the opportunity to chip away and build a higher base. So let's see if the bulls can get that job done or not. Next one here, TSLA Tesla. And overall, this will mean a bit more to those of you that watch past videos, but if you did watch yesterday's video, I talked about that red line resistance in yesterday's video, and that is where the price ultimately came up and then found some resistance right there. Now, the price did actually break up above it, but the momentum quickly disappeared and back down the price went. And I don't mean to repeat myself, so I'll go through it very quickly, but same general idea. Does that mean the chart's broken or anything like that? No, sure, today, individually today, think about that word, today is in one day. So yeah, in one day, yeah, not the best day. Started off strong, got up there, and has now pulled back so much. But you know what I'm talking about now is, but from the big picture point of view, essentially all we have here is, once again, a pullback, but you have this big move before then. So we have ourselves just another bull flag pattern. So yes, today individually, a rougher day for Tesla. Tesla as a chart, when you look at multiple days, which is what we're doing right here, you can very clearly see that today was yet another higher high. So as long as higher highs, higher lows are being put into place, that is by far what matters most. Next one here, ticker symbol PLUG, and I hate to do it, but I mean, I'm not going to waste your time in terms of just repeating myself, but you get the idea. Once again, I could do that a little bit better. Pullback has occurred. What was happening for the pullback? Well, this big old move right here. So we have ourselves another bull flag pattern. So I'm not going to spend any other much time on it. If you like stocks below $10, you like bull flag patterns, keep an eye on PLUG. Next one, CVNA, and I like this one because in my mind there's a very well-defined trend line here that can, there we go. Wanted to get that out of the way. Hey, all right, let's move that over here because it's getting my way. There we go. So you got to think that a lot of people have drawn and connected those two areas just like that. So as I've said before, I'm not trying to impress you. That's not like some sort of great discovery. You got to think that a lot of people have drawn a very, very basic trend line like that, which you now know introduces the whole talking topic of potential self-fulfilling prophecy. So as of right now, there's a bit of ways that needs to happen. I mean, the price has got to curl back up and get up to that level, but if it can and push up through that level, then that could very well create some good, solid upwards buying pressure. If you're someone that likes to play more so pullbacks, then a couple different choices. If you want to be a little bit more aggressive in your pullback play and you have that purple line there, 50 period moving average. If you want to look for a deeper type pullback, then the risk here, of course, is that it never pulls back enough and you completely miss the trade. But there is another area of support down there, that pink line, 200 period moving average. But that, of course, assumes that you even like to play pullbacks. But if you want to play some sort of potential self-fulfilling prophecy type breakout, then like I said, you got to think that all sorts of people have drawn that trend line. So we'll see what happens with it. Next one here, TQQQ, which is an ETF that measures the NASDAQ market. So if the NASDAQ market as a whole goes up, this one will also go up. Or if the NASDAQ market goes down, this one will also go down, which is what happened today. And this will mean a bit more to those of you that watched yesterday's video, so I'll turn this into a quick plug for the class. You heard me talk about that. Rising wedge pattern, looking like a pullback would be needed, and that's exactly what happened here today. Now, our chart's perfect. That's not the claim I'm making, but our charts are a useful tool. Do they, I think, serve a lot of value? Absolutely. And if you don't believe me, I'm not offended. All you got to do is go back and watch yesterday's video, and you'll see me talking about draw this pattern, that the pullback, and that's what happened here, which is kind of full circle now. Does this pullback mean the entire chart's destroyed or ruined and everything like that? Absolutely not, because from the big picture point of view, as you can see here, the trend is still very clearly in the upwards direction. So I do want to map out where some next potential areas of support are on a pullback with the next main level down. They're right around $30.50. To me, that's an interesting level. And then after that, in the event the price pulls back a little bit further than that, next key level would then be down there right around $29.75. And then, of course, you have that pink line there, the 200 period moving average. But, I mean, if you're looking to play a buy around there, of course it could happen, but you're just setting yourself up for risk of potentially never getting filled because the price never drops all the way back down there. Zooming back in here in the near term, this is just based on a foundational rule in charting. When levels of support are broken and closed below, they tend to act as resistance. So you can see right there that purple line was acting as support, but now that the price is broken below it, it's actually already acted as resistance once there. So if the price does try to bounce back up, then that 50 period moving average is going to be that initial level of resistance to watch moving forward. But like I said, all in all, today individually as a day, yeah, rough day. But looking at multiple days, as we're doing right here, you can see that the trend is still very clearly in the upwards direction. So that wraps up the top 10 list. Again, if you like what you saw here and you want to learn more about the tool, then definitely get signed up for the free class. It'll be soon, Thursday, May 25th at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. So I hope to see you there. As far as the top 10 videos are concerned, if you enjoy these, please do two things for me. Hit that like button, leave a comment below. Tell me what you traded today. Tell me what you're watching tomorrow. Did you make money today? Just let me know, because those two things help out the channel. They help out these videos, and they communicate to me that you're enjoying. And as long as I know that you as a viewer are enjoying, I'll continue to put the required time and effort to get this content out to you. So like I said, get signed up for that free class. Hit the like button, leave a comment below. Thanks for watching.